In this video, I thought I would have a quick run through with you all to tell you how I do my route planning for when I go out for rides on the green lanes. I use Windows, Windows 10, just with simple Chrome. You can do most of it quite simply. I have got some subscriptions to make life a little bit easier. You don't necessarily need to do it. Currently I've got lots of tabs open. I'll go through those as quickly for you now. One of the first things we look at is this is Ordnance Survey. Ordnance Survey is a great way. You can also buy paper maps, and yes, I do have paper maps too. Come from the old school. On the paper maps, we're looking at, for routes that we can potentially use. Definitely byways or boats are the red crosses on a track like we got here, for example. This is actually quite a nice track, not far from Butts Hill. And also there's other one on the maps which people are less known about it. These are unclassified roads. These are roads which are tracks with little red dots, or if you scroll in a bit more, you'll notice that they now turn with green dots and green crosses. So this is really important for you guys to know. Okay, so what other sites have I got open? Probably the most important thing you're going to need to look at is on every single county councils, every single county will have a list of all the traffic regulation orders. This is a traffic regulation order site for Hampshire, is my local area, and this tells you what's prohibited and what's not. And if you look down here, you can see that this boat 1 in Hook can only allow will only allow vehicles less than 3 wheels, or any motor vehicle having 3 wheels or more is restricted, cannot use this. This site's also very, very useful. It's updated relatively often, but it also might tell you there's restrictions between a certain particular time as well. You have to be conscious as they don't always update this quickly, so you might just turn up to a track and it has a sign on it, and then it will be updated over the next couple of days. I have complained to them to ask to make sure they're updating OBS quickly. With most of the county websites, you'll also find that they also have an interactive map that you can use. This is an example. This is an OS map. If you zoomed in, this is one of the particular a boat, the byway that we were just talking about. And actually, the particular byway we were just looking at is this one here. You can see the red dotted lines if we zoom in. On the thing, it turns to green. But if you also click on the actual boat itself, it brings up the details and tells you what number it is. So this is a byway code 702. I'm pretty sure it's not 702 as I come out a bit further, so I'll come back out and click on that again. We'll click up here. 702. Okay, and we'll go to the byway section. We'll scroll down to find 702. I don't think that one's particularly correct on their particular website. It's not listed typically, but I will go to this one a bit further up, which I know is closed currently. It's Eastmere. It's boat number 42. You better go to the list, have a look at the list, and go to boat 42. And in here you can see that currently it's restricted for any motor vehicle, so you cannot go down that on your motorbike or your Enduro or your Range Rover. As I say, this interactive map is on most of the different counties. They do look different, but the premises are around the same. This is the one for West Sussex, Surrey, Wiltshire. These are the areas I tend to ride in, so that's why I've got it open. Also, really useful thing, there's a place called View Ranger. You can sign up for free on this particular site, which is great, and you can download other people's routes. That does not necessarily mean that they take you on legal routes. I must admit, I went on a ride only a couple of months ago, and we ended up on a public footpath in the middle of a park, which wasn't good. So you need to make sure you do your research. Going back to this, you take your route from here, and you can go and trace it back through here and look, actually, does it come up as a byway or an unclassified track? Oh yes, it does. Okay, brilliant. Let's go and double check those out. You need to be checking this website the day or two before you leave, because things can change. As I say, the councils aren't great at updating. So this is a good resource of getting these down. If you're a member of the TRF, I am a particular one, they have a really nice interactive map they've just released where everyone can go on and post where the green lanes are. Okay, so this is approximately the areas I live, and you can see everywhere in green currently are all the open boats that you can ride, and also some of the classified tracks. So for example, this is a nice little group of selection we do around Hambledon quite often, and also in here, it's nice they have got them as red. I can tell you though, this is not always up to date. It's not linked to the county council sites. It's all down to our volunteers. So, for example, this particular track we rode on, we went to ride one of the first particular days we went out after finding it on here, and actually there's a big clear sign, so we were able to notify them that actually that is actually closed. But it is relatively up to date as well, which is quite nice. Next, I have Google Maps. Why have I got Google Maps? Google Maps doesn't give you the best. It doesn't do all in survey. You can look at the layers, which is kind of nice. You look at the terrain. My internet being really slow. Yeah, okay, so here you go. So you can look at the map. It doesn't really give you the greatest thing, but what I like to use this for is when I'm actually planning my map using Ordnance Survey or whatever it is, and I'm choosing I'm going to come here. Okay, I'll come to Google Maps and I will actually go and look at the start of the trail, so I know what it looks like when I actually get there. So this is a particular one I use. Here it goes, and I'm on a nice little crossroads. There's a little bit of track there, and I know where it is. And when I come out the other end of it, I like to do exactly the same thing too. So I will just pop over to here, and I know that it drops in just here. So I'll go and have a look and go, okay, there's the track up, and there's the other end of the lane at that end, just so I know what it looks like at both ends, both ways. Nothing worse than trying to find a route. Okay, how do I actually plot my routes? Well, I use a tool called RidewithGPS. I've used it for my bicycles for a long time. Really nice little tool. You can have multiple different maps you can use to help looking at things. I tend to use this OSM Ordnance Survey Map Outdoor because it does have the tracks. It does not show it in the nice format as Ordnance Survey Maps. So this is the same section we were just looking at up here. His brain going well, mad up here. So here's the track that we were just looking at. Ambitious Wharfham. It doesn't show it, but because you've got your Ordnance Survey map that you've looked at and your traffic regulation map that you've looked at and you confirm that it is open, stuff like that, you can then use this to plot it on. So, different sorts of files, lots of different sorts of files with lots of different devices. This is the export types. It comes free with RidewithGPS. It's completely free to use this tool. All you need to do is just sign up, as in sign it. You can do a 7minutemail.com. You can use your Hotmail, whatever you want to do. You can sign up for it. Now I've just got the basic account. Lots of different file types. These are which are going to be transferred to your GPS devices. The most common used is GPX route. Yes, you can use other ones. Fit is a Garmin specific one. However, I found that although it says it does good turn by turn, it doesn't work on my Garmin device. So I tend to use GPX files for absolutely everything. Google Earth file, you can upload it to Google Earth if you want to look at it. CSV if it's more raw. And TCX is another way of doing so you can actually do some tracking on it. But I think for the time being, we'll just talk about GPX, as this will work on the majority of all devices. I can tell you it works on my old little Palm Pilot I used to have. It works on my TomTom. It works on my Google, and it works on my watch, my Garmin watch, my Garmin devices, and also on my Voyager Pro that I've got. Okay, so let's just think GPX is your system agnostic file, and you can upload it to Strava and all the other tools. And also you'll find the bootcamp outputs to it too. So what am I going to do? Well, basically I work out where I want to go and spend my time in the first place. So if I'm going to go and spend my time over in Petersfield or Horndean, I will come and look at the map and try and work it out. I will go to the TRF website and I will go and find some routes. So I'll find some routes in here. I'll come down to my Petersfield. So I know that there is loads and loads here. I sometimes choose the right side, so we want to do green lane off-roading. This is not always conclusive doing it this way, so don't think that just by selecting this, sometimes you might want to do adventure motorbiking, or you might want to do them all. Here, for example, this is a guy's done Denby to Petersfield, so this is a nice little route, and you can see that this particular guy has chosen this route, which is great. It's certainly a nice little run up this one. He's got a long road, and then this is a nice climb up. Well, he's actually come down that way, which is, I've done that certainly a few times. Okay, so you click on that, you can open the actual file itself. You can get this route for free. You've now got it in your system. Okay, And then you can use this to help plot work your way and plot around your route. So, okay, you know you're coming out of Denmead, and I want to go this way out of Denmead, and I'm going to map, and then we can use your route planner and do it. However, when you're doing the route planner, you need to make sure you're constantly checking on the survey maps. Remember, anyone can upload these sort of files, so it doesn't really matter. They don't really check it, but you need to make sure that it is genuinely a boat or it's an unclassified track. And then once you've done that, you then need to go and check it on the right of way. And this is the bit which takes a bit of time. A route shouldn't take too long to plan. I mean, I do 100-mile routes and I can probably take an hour and a half to do it. As I know what I'm doing, and it gets quicker as you do it. And also you've got this great utility, you can come and check things as well. So very quickly you can see that, okay, that's Dean 17, so we can go and have a look on the website. So RidewithGPS, well, okay, let's just say, for example, my ride's going to start on this. So RidewithGPS is a really nice little tool. I have it set to cycling most of the time. If you set to driving, it'll always follow the roads. It won't try and take you down tracks, which is a real pain in the bum. Draw lines will be useful at some points as well if it doesn't want to take you down there, or you can use walking. Walking, again, you've got to be careful with because it takes you down footpaths that you can't use. So the dotted line here is a footpath or a track. So let's just say what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to start. This is where our start point of our whole ride is going to become. I know I want to come along this track here, for example. I'm going to join the main road. I'm going to come along this track here. I'm going to go to my Ordnance Survey map, come back to Bushes of Autumn. So, yep, I can see it's an unclassified track there, so I can go down it. Go to the Hampshire website. I'm going to scroll back. I'm in Bushes of Autumn here, and again, they've not got any rights restrictions put on that sign, and obviously when you get there, there's no signs on the wall as well. I only rode there this weekend. Okay, so I'm now going to come along. If I go to my TRF in Bushes of Autumn, there's a couple of nice little lanes. My brain, here we go. Yep, there's a couple of nice little climb here and all the way along, taking you into Droxford. So, okay, with my RidewithGPS, there is the lane starts here. I'm going to follow it up the hill. I'm going to come along this track here. Now, I actually want to get to this bit here. So you'll see if I click over here, it will take you not down the track that I actually want to go. So you can pick it up in RidewithGPS, you can pick it up and you can drag it and actually select it. It takes a bit of getting used to. Bear in mind, unless you buy the pro version of this, it can be a pain because you can't delete once you've gone there. So if you've mapped a whole route and then you realise it's done this automatically for you, you have to try and juggle to move things around, which can be difficult. So anyway, I'll map myself along. We come down here. This is a nice little boat along this section, and we're going to finish right at the very end of this boat here. Fantastic. I'm now going to save this. I'm just going to call it tests. And I'm now going to view the route. When you look at the view of the route, it's quite nice. Again, you can see it in different formats, whatever you want to see it. It can give you the inclines and grades you're going down, the heights, and you can track it back along with the distances. On the left-hand side, one of the really nice things at the moment is now talking about paved and unpaved. Paved is very accurate on, unpaved it's not so great on. Sometimes it says it's dirt and sometimes it's not, but the big thing is the paved, so you can work it out. Well, I can see with this particular route here, I'm going to spend 50% of it on the road and 50% locally off-road, which is kind of cool. You can see the steepest incline, descent and distance, and then you can export this file. Click on the export the file. Don't worry about changing any of the waypoints, and hit download, and here it pops up. This file now, you literally can pick that file up from my downloads. Make sure there's nothing else in that list. So now I can pick this straight up from here. and send it to my USB device. Literally as easy as that. That's loading your file onto with your GPS plugged in. It is simple as that. You can also pick it up, chuck it on WhatsApp, send it to your friends, which I quite often do in some of my chats as well. Nice thing about it is you can come back and pick this up at all. You can come back and edit this. So actually, you know what? We're coming to this track here. And actually, once we get here, we don't want to come down this main road, this bit of the road anymore. We're going to grab it and we're going to go up there now this time as well. Great. Okay. Once again, so I've checked my regulations. I know that I checked my TROs. I know they're all fine. I can go on those particular routes. I've checked the maps to make sure that these are all okay tracks. That actually these are all unclassified roads, so that's absolutely fine. However, this one here, I don't know what it looks like here when I go down there. So I jump on the map, Google Maps. I will come back to here because I know where I like to look. Okay, and this is over by Droxford. Okay, I can see I've come down that road. I've come down the hill, and I've turned off just before it gets to the bottom. Okay, so I've turned off just before it gets to the bottom. And I will bring my Google Maps onto here. I've gone to the wrong place. That's probably just why it's looking a bit weird. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm coming down this road. Now I can start to look. Well, okay, this is the bit where it works a bit of fun here. So I turn around and I look. It's not very easy to see, but actually the track is down this exit here. But the nice thing about it is that you can go to the OS map, you can properly zooming in, and you can see it's right on the corner of the road. Right, okay, no problems. I can see where it goes on there. Brilliant. So I know what it looks like. And also, so if I'm coming down this track and there was something that I needed to see, so if I'm coming on the owner survey map here, I can see there's a junction here at some point down the middle. So in the middle, somewhere along here, I might go to the layers. Yeah, I can see where that road breaks off just there, like just before it comes into a woods. Brilliant. Okay, so that's how I looked at it. That's the essence of planning a map using RidewithGPS. It's a whistle-top stop. Sometimes you can't force it to go down this particular track you wanted to go. Let's say, for example, that we actually wanted to come across here. We knew you were allowed to go across here, but it's not showing on the map. You can hit draw lines, and you can literally draw a straight line straight across. Then go back to following roads on the cycling route, and it'll continue to work its way along. This RidewithGPS is a really nice little tool, but you do need to use it in conjunction with Ordnance Survey maps and your traffic regulation orders. Ordnance Survey maps, I paid £20 for a year subscription. I think it's worthwhile because you can have it on your mobile phone. Once you've planned your GPS route, so you can see that I've downloaded this. The nice thing about it is what you can actually do once you've signed up for Ordnance Survey. You can also, I've gone too far. You can import the GPX file. So once again, I choose the file. Make this route private. Bang, there it is. Not the nicest of looking in here, which is one of the reasons why I don't tend to do my planning in this particular tool. You can see all the tiny little dots of the changes on there. Let me see if I can make it a little bit thicker for you to see. Not the easiest to see in here, unfortunately. Oh, you can see I've clicked. I've misclicked here. I'll undo that a second. Done the style off. So there you go. So that's one way of looking at it. You see how really quickly, really easy I've just added that and created a route. Likewise, I can add that to any of my GPS files, and it will work straight away from there.